You could throw Currency out there off the top. I think Currency sits at the top of that list as far as underground rappers that have sustained a career, successfully makes money, still pushes music, still hasn't changed. But like if you think about it, like a lot of artists like that, who would you consider like an underground rapper?
I'm gonna say off the top, just me being an old nigga, Tech Nine.
Tech Nine is underground, definitely.
I would say Devin a Dude.
Falls in that category. Slim Thug.
Yeah.
Now, with somebody like Slim Thug, with having commercial success and being like fucking with Pharrell and like having Jay-Z on your song and all that shit, does that still consider you as an underground nigga?
Yeah, to me. I mean, every dog has a day.
So it's just kind of you peeked your head up for a while.
Yeah,
got a little shine.
Came to see what it was like. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting back to the indies.
I think I'll throw Crit in there. I think Big Crit fits in there.
Because I didn't know where Crit was at. I don't know if he was already.
I think Big Crit fits in there. Okay. I think Pusha T fits in that narrative.
Pusha T, for sure.
Pusha T?
For sure.
I think he does.
Do you think he mainstream though?
Nah.
You don't think so?
I think he's mainstream enough as far as his lyrical ability. People know who he is for what he does. But when you consider mainstream, who
I'm gonna say is the Clips mainstream. He's part of that. And Pusha T, if that makes sense.
I think they're mainstream as far as
because they were Pharrell with the two bangers.
Yeah, maybe so. I think maybe that in that instance, but Pusha T by itself.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So Clips are mainstream, but Pusha T by itself is underground. Like if that makes, I don't know, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah,
because if you, I consider mainstream is if you put a nigga's video on a short picture of him, people gonna know who he is off the rip. Or if they hear his voice, they'll know. And I think a lot of times people will know Pusha T, but like a lot of them not gonna know who that is. Like off the rip. I think he's on the borderline. I think
he's a rapper.
In comparison to somebody like Saha the Prince, you know what I'm saying? Or if you really want to throw somebody, Freddie Gibbs.
Freddie Gibbs.
I think honestly and truly, and this may sound crazy, but I think Griselda is underground.
Yeah.
I think musically,
I see where you're coming from with that.
You see what I mean? Because they're and when I say underground, I think a lot of people hear that and they take it like as a negative. It's like niggas don't make money. They not making music that people listen to. No. When I say underground, I mean with a lack of mainstream, like not even success, but a lack of mainstream attention, or the masses knowing who you are, having a big hit or a Billboard hit type of deal. I consider those underground. Like I feel like Kendrick Lamar prior to Good Kid, Mad City was probably considered underground. Even somewhat going into Good Kid, Mad City. So I think a lot of niggas are still in that, you know what I'm saying, in the realm of that.
Yeah, because that whole Section 80 and all that shit,
that nigga was still underground essentially. Like he was a rapper that we all knew.
What do we call Nip then?
Nip was on the verge of...
He was on the verge. Prior to him dying, he would have been considered an underground rapper. Right. But I would say Dolph was a little bit more on than Nip was. You know what I'm saying? I think Yo Gotti to an extent, prior to him being like who he is now. Yo